We just landed in Salt Lake City. We're on the tarmac and we're getting ready to hunt for real estate in Salt Lake.
Hey, it's Dinko The Realtor. I was showing Meet Kevin around Salt Lake City. He really liked the avenues, loved the Sugar House area. It was a really cool experience. There was multiple cameramen shooting from different angles. We were both mic'd up, but the crew could actually do a voiceover so we could talk at the same time, and then they could actually pick whose voice would be in the video. So as he had the whole crew with him, people were asking me questions. Multiple people were asking me questions as Kevin's talking over here, but it wouldn't be part of the audio. There was no retakes. There was no preparing. Things definitely caught me off guard. Everything was all over the place. It was a really cool experience because I got to see how it was to just record things really, really quickly with a really skillful camera crew that has a lot of editing on hand. Now let's take a look at a clip where Kevin and I talk about the real estate market, and then we go through the house.
What do we got here? So you've got, these are median home prices,
Yeah,
median
so
sold prices.
median sold. So this,
Okay.
so this is not even taking into consideration the actives that are out there. So the
Right.
stats are actually worse than this because, as you know, the actives haven't sold yet, so they're not part of the statistics.
What blows my mind is like the National Association of Realtors, they take like 3 months to get the data out, right? So this is up to November, you said.
Correct,
And
correct.
then you already looked at the December numbers.
Correct. Yep. So I already looked at the December numbers, and they're 520. So we see here that it went from 516 to 590. That's the median price in 6 months. And then as quickly as it went up, it went down. So we have already lost pretty much all of the gains in 2022, and we're actually right here 520 eating into the gain. So in December was actually the first month we were negative year over year.
Oh, it's starting,
So it's
the year
starting.
over
So it's
year.
starting. Yep, yep.
I think there's a
Yep.
chance you're going to see in between February to May,
Yeah.
just the national media
Yeah.
having a field day about this idea
Yep.
of, oh my gosh, negative
Yeah.
year over year.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that
Yep.
since the Great Recession, and then everybody panics. man.
Exactly. The panic itself is going to bring the market down.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
5.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not even in the news media. So
Yeah, exactly.
you want-
So this is that 590.
So this right here is 2020. So this is right at the beginning, right before the lockdowns and everything like that. And then-
360, look at that
yeah,
explosion.
and look at the explosion, and then look at the decline right there.
Which I always get the comments, people like, after all this up, it's only
Yeah.
down a little. It's a trend.
Yeah, and it's a huge trend on this one.
It's a huge trend, yeah. So, okay, where are we? We're in the avenues,
In the
now
avenues, yep.
of Salt Lake City.
Correct,
And you
yep.
said this is somewhat close to downtown.
Yeah,
It's close
yeah.
to the college.
Yep, so this is close to the downtown area, and then it's close to the University of Utah. So when I was going to the University of Utah, I had a lot of friends. That
you went there? Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
So I had a lot of friends that would actually live out here, and they would share a room, share the single family house.
Interesting.
So it's a good location because people that are working in downtown, and then people that are going to the University of Utah, and then people that just want to be close to all the restaurants, bars, and night activities and stuff like that.
Now, these feel like 1920s.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
What are the specs on this one? And if they're 1920s, then you either had 2s and 1s, 3s and 1s, and 4 and 2s came later.
Yeah.
So what do we have
So
here?
this one right here is going to be a 3 and a 1-1.
3,
So
1-1.
it's a quarter. So it's pretty much.
Somebody
I-
added a funky sink
I mean,
somewhere.
but I
Probably.
consider. I mean, it has a shower. I consider it
Okay.
a full. Here they consider it a third. So if it doesn't have a tub but a shower, for some reason they don't consider it a full bathroom. But
Oh, sure. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
okay.
as long as you can shower,
Then
in, I
you're
think
at
it's a full.
three-quarter,
Yeah.
sure.
So
1909.
Yep. So this one's
Wow.
1909.
So the original list price of this home was $650,000 67 days ago. Now it's listed for $600,000, almost a
Yep.
10% reduction. We're sitting at a square footage in total, including an 800 square foot basement of 2582, built in 1909. Let's take a look. Wow. Okay, so obviously, well, I guess the basements, because when I walk into this immediately, I
Yeah.
think raised foundation, but it's because we have a basement underneath
Correct.
this. So underneath
Yep.
we'll have concrete. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And you're gonna have majority of the houses here pretty much at least a crawl space, but they're all gonna have a basement.
And I smell, the cigarette smoke in this one. That is the hardest thing to get out
yep.
of a property is cigarette smoke, which is
Yes.
kind of sad because the kitchen's actually nice.
Yeah.
Like this is a pretty nice, they went all the way to the ceiling with the cabinets. That's more expensive
Yeah.
to go to the ceiling. So you've got the hardwood floors. These are almost like 3-inch ochres or something. This feels like an add-on. So you see like the difference in
Yeah,
the ceiling,
yeah.
and then you've got the slats up here. They made it a little more functional. They probably expanded the kitchen a lot.
They probably
because
did,
It's probably
yeah.
a lot more chopped up. So what do you have in terms of backyards here in Utah? And what's normal? Oh my goodness.
So in the avenues and kind of the right here closer to downtown.
You got a view, man.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. So you're gonna have views from a lot of properties, and of course the views are worth money because you can't move a view, right?
Yeah.
So,
And do they have any like conditions for people building up over here? Limitations on that? That would be
so
interesting.
yeah, so there is a historical
Oh, in this area.
yeah.
Okay.
So you would have to get approval before you're able to do certain stuff and things like that. But yeah, as you see, I mean, look at downtown. I mean,
What's your
it's-
time to downtown driving here? What,
from
15?
here? Oh no, from here maybe it'll be at most 10 minutes, maybe
10
less.
minutes, okay.
I mean, you'd probably be within like 7-8 minutes into downtown from here.
How are they with Airbnbs out here?
They're good. I mean, there's a lot of skiing going on here.
Sure.
There's a lot of tourism as
Yeah.
far as the winter and all of that. So people do a lot of Airbnbs here, but Airbnb isn't doing too hot nowadays.
Are you guys noticing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, and yeah, so in some of the research I did as well, it just seems like they're not doing too good.
That makes sense. This is also, I personally love it, but you get a lot of, all of this is rot right here. At the end, you could see the ends rotted, all the lumber over here for the deck. I saw that at the front of the house too, so it probably hasn't had any kind of termite work in a while. Usually you hire a termite company, they'll deal with fungus and termites. Now, do you guys get termites out here?
So that's actually the good thing is when it comes to just the stability of a house here,
Yeah.
it survives. There's no major humidity. We don't really have the termites and things that other
You don't get a lot of
places do.
termites,
No.
okay. You get rot, but no
yeah, yeah, I mean, it's 100 years old.
It looks like also at some point they had a bunch of vines that were running up the
Yeah.
side of the building. That is a perfect way to rot out all your wood.
Yes, yes.
What's your typical buyer do out here? Like,
about just like the job market?
yeah.
So it really depends where you're living and where you're working. But there's a lot of tech here. They're kind of Silicon Valley, but it's called the Silicon Slopes here. So a lot of Californian companies are moving into the valley.
that's awesome.
So Lehigh, it's going to be right where the point of the mountain, where Salt Lake County and Utah County meet. So
Is Utah towards Park City or the other way?
So Utah County is going to be where Provo's at. So,
Oh, okay.
But Provo's on kind of the edge of Utah County.
Got it.
And Lehigh is closer towards Salt Lake Valley right here.
Yeah.
And that used to be cornfields. I remember in elementary school, we took a field trip there, and there used to actually be like a cornfield maze. And now when you go there, there's all these tech companies and all these offices and everything like that. So it's called the Silicon Slopes, trying to be the next Silicon Valley, I
Yeah,
guess.
oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, who is it? It's SoFi is I'm pretty sure fintech companies come to Utah because it's the easiest state to get your banking license
Yeah.
in. It's really incredible because that is going to pull finance here versus like another area that's big into banking tech is Spokane, Washington. But I think Utah has an edge because of the banking licenses out here. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
definitely a friendly work state.
That's
Work,
great.
yeah.
Where do you see people move to? Where do people, when they leave, where do people leave to?
So ironically,
why do people leave?
Ironically, California.
Oh, you see people leave to California.
But then they come back
Then they come back.
because they can't afford it. So,
Oh man, the old wood.
oh yeah.
I mean, it's kind of nice. People get mad at me, but I can't wait to spray it white. Now, this would have originally been finished because I see, I
Yeah.
mean, the windows are kind of funky.
Yeah, it
You've
looks-
got some moisture damage
Yeah.
coming in through the window. You've got, these doors are original, right?
The only thing
This
it
is
could have
beautiful.
been is like an attic that they maybe turned into some living. But I mean, it looks like a older style room.
This has been
Yeah.
here for a while.
Yeah, it has. it has.
That's what I'm wondering if this was an attic
Yeah.
before, because where that staircase is a little funky.
Yeah.
And this is a little funky with the windows. Yeah, this is so interesting. I really wonder if this second story was ever here to begin with.
You will see this. You will see this in this area.
Do you know what what this would rent for?
Yeah, so I actually did get that. For this one here, it's roughly, I ran an analytics comp on it, but it's about 2,700 to 3,000, depending on what you do with the house.
Right. Wow.
The basement,
is
yeah.
here?
Let's. So this is why I want to show you this one, because you'll get a lot of this funkiness.
So you can see some of the bones of the house.
Yeah.
There should be a light here somewhere. Yeah, water heater here. Oh, they got all their manifolds here. Oh, they replumbed the whole house. This is great. See, this is actually what I like to see is everything's manifolded out.
Yeah.
It's a little messy, but this is good because
Yeah.
you're getting new PEX copper plumbing. You've got some more PEX over here. You get the
Yeah, and it got the
vinyl.
expansion tank, so yeah, it's definitely, like you said, it's all newer.
We've done newer work. You know what? That's the trick. Is from now on, if the plumbing hasn't been redone, we're just gonna put in the expansion tank
Yep,
and make
yep.
it look like it.
Are the pipes original iron, or are they
That's what we're looking at right
I'm not 100%
here.
sure. They didn't put that in there, so a lot of times
Oh,
the
you mean the
inspector
drains?
would be.
yeah, the drains? You should know if they're iron or not, because to replace those are like.
Yeah, we do sewer laterals. I recommend actually usually on purchases run a camera down the line and you can see it go out to the street. Yeah, because you're right. I mean, if your cast iron drains under a house are gone, you have to jackhammer up the concrete, and I've done it. Yeah. Mikey, where's your room?
I'm looking for the cupboard under the stairs.
On the basements, it's still considered living space. So I know that some states, they don't allow it to be counted. So in Utah, the requirement for it to be considered a bedroom is it has to have a window and it has to have a closet. It doesn't have a closet.
I can't even get out of that window.
Yeah, so sometimes people will, technically it has a window. So technically if you put a closet in here, you could technically call it a bedroom.
Wow.
And you'll see better basements and.
When we first started recording, the cameras actually, there was a glitch going on. So we actually had to re-record the first part, and I was in the flow. So I was like, man, why did the cameras have to stop working? And, Kevin's just used to this. He's filming things everywhere. So I'm just waiting, and the cameras, camera guy's like, everything's good. And Kevin just starts recording and everything. It caught me off guard. And I was like, man, I wish we would have just been able to just kind of go boom, boom from the beginning. Because, I wasn't thinking. I didn't have any jitters. So it was a really cool experience again.
Now we have moved to the lower avenues, right above Wildwood. We're close to the Salt Lake City Cemetery to one way, and the other way we're close to the Utah State Capitol. Okay, so this already looks very nice. The lumber is in great shape. The sort of Ipe style lumber that they have on top of your patio here, gorgeous. This would be a great place to hang out and sit. I don't know how I feel about the rainbow house. It's kind of cool, but that's a nice one, that black and white one right there. Okay. I mean, the homes aren't, it's not like you're looking at the street and every house on the street has been upgraded. This one actually looks like one of the more upgraded. Usually I want to be like the worst house on the best street. Good to know the areas though. So this is also a little busy. And just like if I had children, I would never let them outside. This is a property that was listed for $820,000, has been reduced a lot, $140,000 to $680,000. It's been on the market for about 6 months. Dude, they followed the market down. Had they priced it right 6 months ago, this would have been long sold. But no, they wanted to price it based on old comps, so they followed the market down. This is why in a declining, actually, no matter what market you're in, but especially a declining market, you have to do something known as shooting ahead of the running deer. So if the comps right now are 6, you price at 575. That's shooting ahead of the running deer, which is running straight down, right? You don't do, oh, it's at 6. Let me try 619 and leave some negotiating room. That's exactly how not to sell. So then you are looking at, in total, 2,669 square feet. 69. 444 square foot basement built in 1911. Also 2-story. Busy road. We'll see. Some of these 2 stories, see, that's single story. Some of them, I'm pretty sure these are mostly just attics that people are basically finishing out in.
This is where Kevin is absolutely right. A lot of people are chasing the market, and that is actually delaying the statistics, because when they drop their price, then nobody buys it at that current price because now they're behind chasing the market. So this is why real estate is delayed, and we have these houses that are on the market for 100, 200 days, and I've been saying this in the other videos, they're just not part of the statistics yet. So that's why real estate, it's not like the stock market. You can't just log online, click 1 or 2 buttons, and all of a sudden sell all your stocks within a minute. It's not like that. So that's definitely a very, very good tip on how to sell a house, is to price it absolutely right and be ahead of the market that's going down.
So are you saying this is a little bit more of a desirable area, the lower avenues?
Well, oh no, so all of the avenues.
All of the avenues
are really desirable, so you're not, if something is priced low and it's a fixer-upper, it just flies off.
Usually, unless the floor plan sucks.
Yeah, unless the floor plan like that one.
Or it's overpriced. Like
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
The median income right now here is 688.
The median sales prices.
So right now at the end of the 4th quarter. So if they would have priced it 6 months ago at the peak, the median price was closer to 800 instead of closer to 700.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're calling this a 5-bedroom, 2-bath, and an office, 1-car, extra deep garage, plus space to park additional vehicle off the street. Just hope you don't get killed when people are going by 40 miles an hour. Okay. Oh, it's near the LDS hospital. I own and have owned properties near hospitals, and I always get nurses and doctors.
Yeah.
They always pay.
Yeah, yeah.
They always pay. Now, you
Yep.
can't discriminate based on profession. I'm just making an observation here. Okay, YouTube?
They just make good money, I guess,
Don't
right?
demonetize me, bro. Yeah, I mean, that helps, you know? If you make lots of money, it's easier to pay your bills when you make more money. Electric. You guys have natural gas out here, though.
Yeah.
Right? And then this is interesting how they ran the conduit on the inside. This isn't what? Why the soffits dropped like that? I wonder. That's very interesting what they've done here, because you've got some lumber suggesting they added this soffit with these vents, because no other house
I think
has
they
that.
added that on.
So they have an add-on, and then they skirted the whole house with that. Why they ran electrical here? Are these are block homes then?
Yeah, so I mean,
So they wanted to add power. They moved the kitchen rather than drilling in through all the brick to run their conduit. They just dropped the conduit right here like this. That's
yeah, because this one's built 1911.
yeah. So that's a block outside. Okay, all right. Wow. And you said they added this on?
It
It
looks like they
Here's
did,
your
right?
brick.
Yeah.
It's a mud room, laundry room.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. See,
This is not a bad add-on.
this is a good add.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is nice. Oh, and this is a cute backyard. Do you get a lot of mix back here where you got apartment buildings, duplex, triplex, and singles?
So you will have more to duplex, because sometimes they'll convert these into a duplex.
Oh, they'll
Yeah.
take these originals.
Because sometimes you'll have where the basement is
Yeah.
actually livable.
Sure.
And then what they'll do is they'll create a
Separate.
separate entrance, and then you have, and sometimes they don't really call them a duplex. They'll just be a single family home with two families,
That
because
makes sense. Sure.
the law allows
With
it.
guest unit
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, because you can have two families living and still be within the guidelines.
Now, usually when you look at single-family neighborhoods, you want to stick close to just single family. As soon as you start getting duplexes and triplexes around, it tends to lower your value in neighborhoods. So it is kind of interesting seeing some of these back here. But, okay, we're getting a feel for the avenues. So
Yeah.
good. Okay, great. Let's keep going. This is a lot better because
Yeah.
you've got functional rooms
Yep.
up here.
Yep.
As you said earlier, they've got the closet.
Yeah.
They threw down the new carpet.
Yep.
Wish they had mold instead and better deals. I don't know the weather gets too bad out here though, huh?
As in.
Like super cold, like super.
So it's not like the Midwest and the East, yeah. So
Oh,
so
okay.
consider to that it's mild.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Good. Do people's
No
pipes ever
negatives.
freeze out here? Is that
The
more
homes
rare?
are good, yeah. They're insulated. There's none of those freezes really, where there's negative temperature. So
Oh, okay.
we don't really deal with that. We don't really deal with power loss from snow, from stuff like that. So
Less maintenance is better.
Before somebody kills me, I know that we do have power outages, we do have an occasional pipe burst, but what he's asking is if that's something that's a regular occurrence, because in the older cities, where the pipes are much older, the cities are much older, they don't really have modern day HVAC where you have to really redo the plumbing when you buy a house. I have people from Boston where they say when you move into a house, you have to invest $50,000 to $100,000 just to make that house livable because you have to redo the plumbing, the piping, and everything else. So I know we do get the pipes freezing, and I know that we do get power outages. It's just not going to be what you're going to get in the older cities. And that's what he's asking. And we don't have a severe problem with that here in the greater Salt Lake area along the Wasatch Front. Before somebody comments and says, hey, we do have power outages. I know, but it's not as bad as it is out east.
Move of compared to the last one, which is a disaster. But this is good.
So he was saying that all of this is developed.
Ah.
We're over here. We're right next to downtown.
Downtown, yeah.
And
You can't build out here, so you have to remodel the
go
old.
either over here or over here. So there's going to be that's a nice little
Yeah.
demand
Yeah.
niche.
I love that about having a geographic bounce, right? You buy next to beaches, there's a limit to how much you can build. You buy in a valley, there's a limit. So we're here,
Yes.
and so where's the new development? Which areas?
All out over
Oh,
here.
all out that way.
Super far.
So there's a little bit right here.
Okay.
A little bit. So majority of Salt Lake Valley is built out. So it's spilling over here into Tooele County. A lot
Oh,
of
wow.
people when I was going to school didn't even know this existed. So a lot of it's spilling out over here, and then that's where Lehigh, the tech hub, is, and that's where Provo is. So the city is built along. That's why it's called the Wasatch Front. This is the Wasatch Mountains. So that's the Wasatch Front, and Salt Lake Valley right here is pretty much completely done other than over here, and they can't even build too close to the West Mountains because of Kennecott, the biggest man-made pit in the world.
Oh, there's a
Copper-
mining pit.
copper mining.
A copper mine.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonder when that gets depleted. Because then eventually they'll build there
Yeah,
when it's
well, they
depleted. But if
extended
there's
them
still
to
mining.
2038.
Oh, yeah, okay. Not worried about that. Okay, there's the answer. You had the answer. I love it. Good job. Thank you. Oh,
Kennecott's lease actually runs out in 2032, and they're looking to extend it beyond that. Kevin is right about the scarcity in the valley when it comes to land, which helps homes appreciate faster and hold their value. Even though right now is not a good time to buy, watch my other market videos along the Wasatch Front so you know when to buy here in Utah, because the data is showing it hasn't bottomed out. Prices are down 12% from the peak of May. So like I said, make sure you watch those other videos. That way you know what's going on in the Wasatch Front. But when the market does bottom out, Salt Lake, the Wasatch Front is going to recover quicker, most likely, right? Nothing certain other than death and life, but it's going to recover because of that scarcity. There's only a certain amount of land that's all of Salt Lake Valley is pretty much built out. And even the Wasatch Front now, Utah County, Davis County, a lot of those, when I was a kid in junior high and high school, there was a lot of empty land. There isn't that land. So that's the benefit of being in a valley when it comes from an investment standpoint of your house appreciating. Of course, the con is prices tend to go up quicker and there's not as much land to build on.
They did a great job from what I could see. And even something like this, even though it's not like nasty, you could play the timing on this and start throwing in like cash offers, right? You could get somebody at that perfect time where you could get this to be a wedge deal and have to do almost no work to it. Yeah. So built in 1942 now, mid-century. So usually starting in the 40s, you started getting a little bit more 2-bath homes, 3-bed, 4-bath homes. I see a lot of single stories here, which is also an indicator that people did not have to go up, especially since most of these homes appear to have basements as well. You actually have a little bit larger of a yard where it seems like most of these homes have a single car garage with a single car driveway. Pretty typical for 1940s, mid-century. Although starting in like the mid to late 50s, you did get a lot more 2-car garages. This is a property that was originally listed for $675,000. Now it's $635,000. It has been on the market for 69 days minus 1. And it is 2,235 square feet minus an 809 square foot basement, which leaves you about 14 upstairs. And it looks like it's about a 2-bedroom up, 1 in the basement, so 3 and 2.
So it's you know, those cities that are unofficial. It's not really a suburb. Like you can pull it up, but it's not on your address. It's not like
Sure.
123 Sugar House, you know,
Got
whatever.
it, got it. So it's got a Salt Lake address,
Yeah,
basically,
Salt
but
Lake
it's
address,
considered Sugar House.
But it's considered Sugar House.
Okay.
So the way that it stretches is you have Interstate 80.
Yeah.
So there's a smaller section of Sugar House that's across there, but it's not as expensive as
The
this
core
side that's
Sugar
over
House.
Here. Correct.
Got
So the further you go to the East Mountains, the more expensive real estate gets because of the scenery. And then, of course, closer to downtown. So when the city was...
So like the upper avenues with those views,
Correct.
more expensive, and
Correct.
then east, more expensive.
Correct. So the east, yep. So when you're going east, you're going to the Wasatch Mountains. So Cottonwood Canyon is going to be just right here in the middle of the mountain. So you're literally here from this location. You're probably anywhere from 14 to 20 minutes away from downtown. You're probably another 10 minutes away from the University of Utah, University of Utah Hospital, the Huntsman Cancer Institute, and then you're also maybe about another 20 minutes away from the ski resorts.
Solitude?
Maybe a little bit long, yeah. Maybe
Solitude?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that was the first place everyone went
yeah.
skiing was Solitude. So what do we got here? We've got, this is your good old 3 and 2. Okay, you got the dual pane. What?
An LLC is selling
So an
this
investor.
property.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, it almost makes sense that you could just like rent out different compartments of this.
Yeah. So and this is what I mean, pretty much starting in the
'cause you're close to
40s, you'll
college
get-
again.
Yeah, you're closer to college, and then you'll have basements in majority of the houses, and they look much better in the newer ones.
You know what we need to do is test the plumbing. Yeah, the plumbing works.
Kevin liked the Sugar House area a little bit more than he liked the avenues because the homes tended to be a little bit newer, but you were still close to downtown. You were still close to where homes tend to be older and very desirable because of their location. And they say in real estate, location, location, location.
This is cute. I'm looking around and I see the 50s style over here. You've got the 30s, 40s style here. You've got relatively little traffic. I see most of these homes look incredibly well maintained. I don't really see fixer-uppers on the street, at least from what I could see right here. I don't see anything massively over-improved. I mean, some people have really nice windows I see are custom. They have custom windows. This looks gorgeous with the shutters. I like this so far. Do hear the I-80, so we're a little closer to the I-80. We hear lighting, perfect. Oh, carpet.
Once you see that one, I'll explain to you kind of the layout of
Woo!
You almost
Almost ate it. This is cute. I feel the foundation a little crooked, but that's okay. Okay, yeah, basement's this way. Let's go look at the basement really quick.
As we walked through this house, it was nice. However, it did look like a flip, or maybe it was a previous investment property that somebody was selling. So you could tell that they did the remodel, but it wasn't done as if somebody was living in the home, where the remodel was done with, 100% intent to make it the best it could be. It was to make it look good, but also at a cost-effective price to make the most profit.
So when the market bottomed out in 2011, that's
Yes.
when the whole MLS Wasatch Front bottomed out.
Wow.
By the first year, so in 2012, it actually went up 11.5%.
Oh, nice.
And then within the first 8 years,
Yeah.
the entire MLS was a 94.5% increase. So
Wow.
almost every single house along the entire I'm talking about 40 miles away from downtown,
Wow.
almost doubled. And there's neighborhoods where they went 102, 108 within 8 years.
That's insane.
And that's what I was talking about, the market appreciating here. And that's just because there's not that much land. So there's a scarcity in land, which is, with the population boom, going to make the houses appreciate. Now, people are not moving to the Wasatch Front as they were before, because homes are very expensive and the cost of living is much higher. So depending on where the market bottoms out, I don't know if we'll have that 11.5% recovery in the first year. But I mean, even if it's 5, 6, 7, 8% back-to-back years, you'll have equity. So as long as you're buying somewhere within that 10 to 15% of the bottom of the market, and it's really hard to time the exact bottom of the market, because it's going to bottom out and then it's going to go up. So as long as we buy somewhere towards the bottom, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you want more information about stocks and other investment things, follow Kevin. He has the real estate information, he has stock information. If you want to diversify your portfolio, you're going to find out Tesla is his favorite stock. So definitely going to want to buy some Tesla if you're going to go watch his channel and follow him. I'll link the video down below to his channel that has the full video of us looking through homes here in the greater Salt Lake City area. And then if you need any information, if you're looking to buy here later on, once the market starts stabilizing, Dinko the Realtor is your realtor along the Wasatch Front. And until next time, have a great day.